G'day viewers, well, I like giving this battery charger to repair. Now this switch actually let off with a fucking, I don't know what happened, but she went off with a bang, but I cannot find anything wrong with it. It was all black and charred inside, but the contacts themselves are pretty good. The mechanism still works. This connection here probably could have been the cause, so anyway, she let off with a bang, but I gave it all a good inspection. Washed it with some contact cleaner, got all the black crap off. It seems to work mechanically, but so it must have been a bad connection somewhere that caused that to overload. But there's another fault in here. I think this is a regulator. This must be for, I don't know if this is a regulator for the low voltage side, or because it's got a multi-tap transformer, 20 amp max, 1224 volt. And you got this friggin' low amp, medium amps or high amps. So you can go 12 volt, 7 amp, there's a 10 amp RMS on the low, 15 amp on the medium and 20 amp. So it's a pretty damn good battery charger. It's a projector brand with engine start, so I do not see how the hell this little tiny transformer is capable of starting an engine. It's no bigger than the microwave oven transformer. I just do not see how that's got the capability of starting an engine. There's a secondary, it's just fucking big wire, but that's not going to be big enough to start an engine. Mine is just a quick jump start for a motorbike or something, that'll be about it. But you can switch between the two functions, charge or jump start. Obviously all Chinese crap in here, so I'll try and reinstall this switch and see what happens, but this damn regulator, whatever it is, went off with a bang. She's overamped and blew the solder out and blew the traces of the circuit board apart and everything, so I'm after to get that circuit board out. It's bolted down there where the transformer is, so that's how to, I'll get a light and give you a good better look at that. Okay, viewers, there's that circuit board there. As you can see, something seriously has overamped. I'll have to resolder that part of the board and the tracer that's next to that, which goes, I think it goes to that tantalum capacitor. I'm assuming they're just filter caps to help take the ripple out of the transformer's output. Then there's the two diodes there, rectifier diodes, and there's one more big rectifier diode there. Obviously you needed to rectify AC to DC. Little regulator, this is the actual regulator here itself. It's got the integrated circuit, M3009M, another mains suppressor capacitor, some description, an electrolytic. I'll fill the top of that, make sure it hasn't popped. No, that's not bulged, that's good. So that's your regulator there, and those are your taps going from the transformer. This must be some other bloody thing. So it goes to the engine start switch. So it's got something to do with the engine start. The resistor for it, it's just the board's gotten overamped. I don't know, there is corrosion there, so I wonder if the corrosion's had something to do with it. I'll have to try and get that circuit board out and retrace it. But I'll try and reinstall on this switch. I wonder if that's caused it to overload and trip the main breaker. That's the actual input breaker, the main 240 volt power there. It's a 6 amp circuit breaker, and we've got another output breaker, which is also a 6 amp breaker. So if you got the battery charger going and you short terminals, if you short them together, that'll trip to stop the transformer from overloading. I don't know what that one is, so it must be if you do an engine starts and you overload the primary and pulls too much amps, that'll trip. So that's what I'm assuming, but this probably wouldn't do much of engine starting with windings that small. It's way piddly to start an engine. Anyway, I've inspected this damn switch, I just cannot find a thing wrong with it. Looks like it's overamped, but it doesn't actually completely destroy it. It still looks, I cleaned it with contact cleaner, I got the contacts cleaned. I'm assuming bad contacts is what caused it, but yeah. So how it actually works, you got the switch on. When current builds up, I think these little ships, heat travels up here and this flexes and bends down and bends with the heat. And that's how it works. But yeah, you can see there's a little that screw you can calibrate it to. I think that's mainly that it mechanically calibrates how much amps it can pull before it trips. So it's calibrated for 6 amps. So that's also by a dual. It's got 2 strips of metal there, bi-metallic. Yeah, I'm assuming when that gets hot, the heat will travel up here, and this heats up and starts to bend. Hits this little lever. So yeah, that is what does the bending mechanically from the heat. That pushes this down and trips it. So mechanically it works fine. The spring mechanism looks pretty good in there. The contacts move, all the mechanics work freely, none of the contacts are blown out or overwhelmed and destroyed completely, nothing is self-destructed. In there it looks kind of bad, but the wire is still all there. If I can just, it's like something's touched it and shorted it, some other wires shorted it. It's almost like the output wires between active and neutral have touched on there and just shorted it directly, so the connections to that aren't stuffed. I can't find anything else wrong there. So if I put that together, just screw it back here, put those wires back on, I'll have that bit fixed. I just have to get that board there fixed. That might have been the cause. This must be some sort of ballast of some sort. Looks like someone's bypassed it from something. It just solders together. Goes in there. Comes out there. Don't know, it's pretty strange. Yeah, some sort of when you're starting, it must be some sort of element that acts as a sort of ballast. But yeah, we'll try and get that bloody board out, fix that board. First I put this switch in. It tells me how to wire. I got live. This must be on that side and neutral on this side. From the mains, and the earth obviously screws directly to the housing. Then this thing here is colour coded for those wires. I'm going to try and put everything back together and do a multimeter test. Make sure it's safe and turn it back on again. See what happens. Okay, viewers, I'll wire it all back up. I'm not going to test it just yet though until I fix this bloody board up. I think I found out what's wrong with it. The customer must have had this outside in the shed. Must have had it sitting on the ground and charging the battery. And by the looks of the underneath there, water's been there. It's got ingress of water. This charging switch got a bit corroded. So water's shorted out somewhere and just tripped the main breaker with a lot of current. As you can see, a lot of dirt built up down there, so it must have been sitting up to here or something in water. But definitely tell it's been out in the weather, so that recent rain we had, he must have had, either got a bit wet and it didn't, just dried it up and didn't know the inside was wet, and turned it on and bang, all hell broke loose. But yeah, I'm going to go and try and fix that damn board up now before I try and test it. It's going to be a lot of hard soldering there because it's in a bastard of a spot for me to get to in order to solder that. But I'm going to try. Then, if she works, I'm going to try and charge up the battery with it. 24 volt might blow a battery up. Anyway, yeah, let's get this damn thing all, get the soldering on ready. Okay, viewers, here's a size comparison. There's my re-round mott, capable of a lot of amps. Here's this transformer. Physically more wider than laminations, but I don't know. I don't see how this little transformer is possible starting an engine. Alright, engine start, I'll switch off that. Connect battery charger according to battery and vehicle connection, like that. Alright, and done that, and then you set control switch to engine start, which is that one. Set the battery voltage, obviously 12 volts if it's an ordinary car. Switch on the power button. Switch on the output, which is this one. Turn on the power, then ignition key to start, turn the ignition. If engine fails to start after 3 seconds, wait 10 seconds before retrying. Note, do not repeat this operation more than 10 times. So this must get hot. only does 3 seconds to start and something here overamps, so that's probably what's happened here. You probably went to start a vehicle with it last and didn't follow the instructions and blew this up by overamping. That's going to be an absolute nightmare to solder. Yeah, you've done some damage there. So obviously that must have been what's happened. Do that big switch there, it goes down there. I'm going to try and get this right to the soldering iron heats up. We'll go from there. Okay, viewers, what I'm going to have to do to get this fixed, I'm going to have to get my little blowtorch here. Just get that as hot as I can back there on that big heatsink. Refill it up with solder. Then retrace this blown tracer on a circuit board here with a bit of wire to fix that, because that tracer's long gone now. I just get a wire brush. You can see that damage is bad, so I'll have to just solder it further up on that lug. That's been damaged pretty bad. Before I use that, I gotta get a refill. A little thing here, already adjusted and ready to go. Wait till fluid, the liquid will come out and you know it's full. Yeah, you're supposed to shake it for a bit. But there you go, she's full. Alright, it's time to get that bloody tracer fixed. Okay, viewers, I have it all fixed up here. I retraced the blown out tracer there with just a piece of copper winding from a fridge compressor motor. Seems to be pretty, does a job well. Now I get that bottom part connected properly here. Yeah, that's pretty well connected anyway. It's enough to get the complete the circuit, because the circuit board tracer is totally wrecked. I have to remanufacture it with just a bit of copper wire, which is what I've done to fix that. Now if it says in the instructions not to do it longer than 30 seconds, I crank the engine over, that means it, because that's what can happen. That current just blown that tracer up. It's been cranked too long and blew that tracer right out, so gotta do some work, and the front panel has been bent up a bit, so gotta try and fix that with a pair of pliers and work the magic on that. Put it back together. The wiring seems to be done properly, so hopefully this thing should just work. Those two there are soldered together. Bloody Chinese. I think they'll do a better job at a battery charging station than this, wouldn't they? Huh? So yeah, get that earth connection really good. Alright, now I'm going to do a continuity check. Where the hell, there it is. Yeah, hate it when you can't find something when you need it. Continuity, hopefully the multimeter thing should work. Yep, I'm going to go to the chassis and one to the earth pin. We'll see if the circuit's complete. Alright, to earth, and bump this. Should start to beat. And it's not beeping, so I've got to try and get a good connection here. And yours well, I can't get this without my tripod, so okay, if yours well, you do. I've fixed it up now. But there's no paint, hold that there firmly. Now put the camera down and put this on the earth pin. Nothing short between the neutral, nothing shorter from the active. That's good. So the switch tested alright. We've got good earth, so it's grounded. Now I've got to try and, yeah, flip this thing back up. It's a filthy, messy thing, that's for sure. So yeah, the weather's had something to contribute to the malfunction of that switch and that tracer by not following the instructions properly on how to start a vehicle with this. So it is important that you follow the instructions of these. Now I'm going to bolt this bottom part back on. Try and straighten this out if I can. Okay viewers, I'm going to put this thing on the ground just in case something bad happens, which I hope it doesn't. I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen, but I'm pretty sure I've got to do a fix. Before I put the cover on, I'm going to crank it up slowly in the variac with that power on. And if nothing happens, I have a multimeter on its output by the way too. And if it all is good, she's fixed. I'll probably do a battery charge on it and a test and see if she starts an engine. So yeah, let's get this thing going. Good redneck battery clips. Just ordinary spring clips bolted onto the old jumper cable teeth. Gotta love that redneck idea. Ready. Oops. Transformer's off center. Gravity in this when you carry it. Okay, I'll plug this into the variac. Okay, view as well. Output's being measured for 12 volt. Variac's on 0. Time to switch on. Oh, it's going up. Whoa. Yeah, that switch caught fire. Okay, well that switch must be bad. Good thing I got a variac and that did not complain under any of the load, so that switch is gone. Looks like I'll be pulling that switch off to fix that switch after all. Yeah, she went boom. This is what a variac is good for. Things like that. One of these is bloody lifesaver. I'm glad I did that. That one went fucking boom. Very glad I did this, and this barely even hummed too, so that's something wrong with this. That switch has got something seriously wrong with it. The variac barely complains, so that's a good thing. I did get some output, but I'm going to have to fix that switch. That's why you want a variac. Bloody lifesaver. I'm glad I got that. The variac barely hummed, so it wasn't very it wasn't that it was over ramping as such as I was turning it up, but got about here and woof. So I'm going to have to pull that switch out and find out what the bloody hell's wrong with it. Okay viewers, that's the source of the fire right there. That just catches fire, so what's up with that? The contacts here, there's nothing shorted between there and there. So I wonder if that yeah, I wonder if something in here might have gone short, then blown that out, but the switch would have tripped. So I'm just going to keep troubleshooting this in the meantime, so for now, thanks for watching.